Hello and welcome back to the channel, and today we have a couple of things to talk about, including the possible reasons to why Eminem doesn't tour the United States anymore, and I added something to the end of the video to show you how deep this goes. Before we get to that, I remember that in a previous video I talked about how Eminem extended his record on streaming platform Spotify on his cancellation week on Twitter by becoming the first artist with 9 albums on the platform that have crossed 1 billion streams, but I forgot to add a couple of things. The first is that this feat happened just in time for Encore's 15th anniversary, and I'm talking about just hours before. And another point is that just in time for the anniversary of Encore, we experienced several leaks of Eminem old songs, including the newer song with Joyner Lucas, akin to the period before Encore released, an album that was also severely affected by leaks. So as a fan, you should know that leaks could have serious consequences.
Consequences.
Yeah.
Real consequences.
So heading to the topic at hand, many people wonder why Eminem doesn't do shows in the United States, and his most recent shows have been international shows ranging from 40,000 to 80,000 people per show outside the United States, in countries where other rappers will struggle to sell out shows of 5,000. Demand for Eminem's music in the United States remains high, and proof of this was the fact that Eminem was the top-selling album artist of 2018 across all genres of music, not just in hip-hop. But I believe this has more to do with how Eminem views international fans at the moment, who frankly are looking to be the ones who stick through thick and thin with Eminem at the moment, and I have some examples to support my point. Now we'll start with Twitter, for instance. Now I know Twitter doesn't represent the real world, although those on Twitter seem to think otherwise, but nonetheless you won't see something like this happen even on Twitter from users outside the United States. Recently, Rolling Loud posted a poll on Twitter asking the question, should we bring Eminem to Miami 2020? And the result is an accurate representation of hip-hop Twitter. For an artist, the best-selling of the 21st century, those who took part in the poll were initially split at the middle on if they wanted to see Eminem in Miami. Now I know a lot of trolls take part in these polls, but in over 4,000 votes, half of the people saying no tells you something about Eminem on Twitter. And when you combine results like this with the situation that surrounded the Revival release, you'll begin to understand why Eminem would rather go to places with higher quote-unquote quality fans. And I'd back this up with Revival's stats. The poll ended with a 60-40 split, which is quite telling. While many fans believe Revival performed poorly, especially those in the United States, outside the US its performance wasn't as bad, and you could even say that the international market saved the album from bombing completely, as because of fans outside the United States, Revival, despite releasing in December 2017, ended the year as the second best-selling hip-hop album globally, according to the IFPI, right behind Kendrick's Damn that released months earlier. And the US/international split for that album was 30-70, which was quite unusual for an Eminem album in the first year, which is usually closer to 50-50 US/international sales. Kamikaze was roughly 50-50, but it was with Revival that Eminem probably realized that the international fans are more immune to the LSM flicks and tricks. So if you wonder why Eminem would rather tour internationally, you need to realize that one, of all the rappers, Eminem is the only one able to match or sell more albums outside the United States than he sells in the US, and 2, the fan base outside the US at the moment look to be more dedicated than US fans, so now you have an idea of the possible reasons why. This connects well to the next part of this video where I have a funny revelation, but before we get to that, remember to hit the like button if you enjoy content like this, and if you're new, also hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Now, people are so obsessed with color and division that it becomes the only thing they see even when facts are in their face that say otherwise, and this is quite hilarious.
Trump's policies are so grand. Watching the economy expand.
So that's a female with a red hat who's associated with someone that Eminem has stated makes his blood boil. Yet we have a Tweep that blames Eminem for this happening because she is rapping and she shares his appearance qualities. Now, the only big rapper I know who's worn the red hat is Kanye West and not Eminem. But when color is the only thing you see, of course you can't be objective. So rather than saying this is quote-unquote Kanye West's fault, the user ignores all the facts and blames Eminem. Furthermore, no rapper is responsible for what their fans do, and she is free to do whatever she wants without getting associated with Eminem or even Kanye West. But you know, Twitter has to find a way to blame Eminem even when it's contradictory. Eminem flies outside the US to perform, and he knows he's flying away from people that think like this, so possibly another reason why he would rather tour outside the United States these days. So what are your thoughts on all these? Tell us in the comments section. Do you agree with the points made in this video, or do you disagree? Feel free to tell us below, like and subscribe if you haven't, and see you on the next one.